Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 11. Yo Mama So Big, She Got More Gravitational Bull Than the Bepis Logo. This vaguely Microsoft Windows XP themed Yo Mama joke plays off the now infamous Pepsi logo design rationale document that explains the many positive attributes of the redesigned brand, including the logo's gravitational pull. The document, created by the Arnell Group, includes some outrageous concepts and was widely mocked by those outside and within the design community. The Mona Lisa in the corner alludes to the golden ratio, a concept leaned upon within the design rationale document. The gravitational pull mentioned could also be a reference to a Family Guy episode where Brian demonstrates that Peter has his own gravity. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 12. They don't know about the Warsaw radio mast. This Wojak laments those who are not familiar with the once tallest structure in the world. When completed in 1974, it stretched 2,120 feet, or 646 meters, into the air, broadcasting radio signals all the way to Antarctica. If it were still standing today, it would have still only been usurped by two other taller structures. Prior to its construction, a similar broadcast tower held the record, the KTHI TV mast, located in North Dakota, serving the Fargo-Moorhead area. The Warsaw radio mast is said to have broadcast communist propaganda from the Polish People's Republic all over the world, so maybe this Wojak is also sad he can no longer tune in. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 13. Idiot Cops Who Got Humbled by Sovereign Citizens. This meme plays off the cops getting humbled by people smarter than them video genre, switching it to sovereign citizens. The cop in question is a CIA agent from the movie The Dark Knight Rises, and the sovereign citizen, in this case, is the villain from the same movie, Bane. Sovereign citizens are notoriously entitled crackpots who believe their body is its own country, but can also somehow still freely use resources from all other countries. The closest actual idea to this happening in reality would be foreign diplomats. When operating in other countries, these people's residency and belongings are actually considered property of their own country, not the country they reside in. This is called diplomatic immunity. However, if you're just some random guy driving without a license and registration, this does not apply to you. Bane, however, who later humbles the CIA agent by killing him, is probably the closest thing we have to an actual sovereign citizen you could get. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 14, Black Khan. Streamer iShowSpeed visited Mongolia in 2025 and several memes placing him in historical settings within the region ensued. Khan is the title for king, with Genghis Khan being the first and most notable of the Khans from the Mongol Empire. The empire at its peak was the largest contiguous empire in the world, hitting over 9 million square miles. Genghis has an extremely complex family tree, with him being rumored to have fathered at least 1,000 children. Around 1 in 200 people alive today are direct descendants of Genghis. iShowSpeed's fabled family tree is much less complex, but it is just as esoterically rich. Go back and watch Episode 5 to learn more about Speed's grandfather, the mysterious Ashtar Sharan, the extraterrestrial being at the head of the UFO religion, Universe People. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 15. Mom found the creator of the white race drawer. This is a modification of the Mom found the pee drawer meme, where a little kid looks embarrassed that his mom found where he'd been peeing. The head in the modified image is that of Yakub, a figure in the Nation of Islam, a religious organization that historically dealt more with black nationalism issues than that of the Orthodox Islamic faith. The religion was created in 1930 by Wallace Fard Muhammad, a man who claimed to be from several different countries and went from working at a food cart to starting a religion to being exiled from the United States even as a U.S. citizen. The story goes that Yakub created the white race 6,000 years ago by selective breeding. Tragically, Yakub died at the age of 150, but his breeding efforts continued by his associates. The whole breeding process is rather morbid, so, acknowledging the hard-to-swallow nature of the tale, it was revised by Dwight York in 1996. York, who is currently serving a 135-year prison sentence, changed Yakub to be born with 2 brains after humans lost their psychic abilities after millions of years of intergalactic war. Yakub died after one of his brains exploded. Wallace Fard's last known whereabouts was Mexico, after stating he was going back to his homeland of New Zealand, but his legacy remains in this meme in the United States and worldwide. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 16, Articles about Snooker, Wikipedia, Me. This meme plays off the observation that there are a disproportionate amount of featured articles and news pieces about snooker compared to its popularity, with 37 featured articles about Q Sports plus an unquantified amount of other featured snooker player biographies. One should also note that there are even more featured articles about other topics such as road and rail systems, but there is something comically non sequitur about Wikipedia's love of snooker. The image is from an anti-foie gras protest. Foie gras is duck or goose liver made by force-feeding the bird more food that they would ever naturally eat, causing them to develop a fatty liver. Its production is hotly contested, with most people agreeing it's animal cruelty, and rich people defending it because that's what rich people do. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 17, How to Achieve Trap Mode, a meditation on identity in the digital age. This is a quote-unquote infographic of both helpful and tongue-in-cheek information on how to achieve a feminine physique and aura as a male. It references doing cardio but no resistance training, a common pitfall to those trying to lose weight but potentially desirable when you're going for this look. As well, it references drinking water from bottles composed of BPA, a plastic that's known as an endocrine disruptor, a material that can interfere with hormones. This image also contains text related to introspection and is at times mildly solipsistic, questioning if everyone they've ever met was just a bot. The diagram with a person is a Kabbalistic tree of life with 10 nodes representing different parts of human existence, such as wisdom, intelligence, beauty, etc. This meme may have been made for cathartic or therapeutic purposes, placing several ideas ranging from scientifically true to quack on one canvas, composing an image reflecting on how one should live one's life when one's own personal identity is enigmatic and elusive even to oneself. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 18. Nick, that's why you are the thimble in this game, and I am Linepithema humile. This image comes from the Hit It With a Car web series starring brothers Chris and Nick Alex, directed by Jason Steele, also known as Film Cow. Chris, the voice of Carl, the sadistic llama in the popular cartoon series Llamas with Hats, dons a blonde wig to play an overenthusiastic lover of hitting stuff with a car. In the Monopoly episode, Chris criticizes Nick's low enthusiasm and compares him to the oft-reviled thimble game piece, whereas he is Linepithema humile, a species of ant invasive in several different continents. The Argentine ant, native to northern Argentina and surrounding countries, is known for their super colonies spanning thousands of miles. The ants often exhibit unicoloniality, that is, ants will help and not compete with ants of the same species but from different nests of origin, which is much less common among other ant species. These ants can then outcompete native ants and take over their habitat, thus the connection to Monopoly, a game to take over all. I personally like the thimble. Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 19, E pluribus unum, doesn't work when you've lost your connective tissue. This meme is from the angry motorcycle riding skeleton genre popularized by places such as R the Pack and The Share Zone. E pluribus unum, the phrase everyone learned about in American middle school civics class but has since forgotten, means out of many one, a reference to the different states in the Union forming a cohesive country. Furthering the quote-unquote biker back to our roots nature of this meme is the Betsy Ross flag, with its form used from 1777 to around 1795, although that is disputed, with historian Grace Rogers Cooper dating its design to 1792. Ross was probably not the actual designer of this flag, as there were many other evolutions of the flag prior to hers, and there were more than a dozen other flag makers in Philadelphia at that time. Francis Hopkinson, the designer of some early paper money and other important U.S. symbols, took credit for the design but was refused compensation for it from the government. Hopkinson was one of the members on the design team for the Great Seal. The official explanation for the reverse of the seal was presented to Congress on June 20th, 1782. The pyramid represents strength and duration. The eye is of providence, a Christian motif. The Punisher's skull is a popular symbol among people who don't understand what it represents but thinks it looks cool, with Punisher co-creator Gary Conway saying this: "To me, it's disturbing whenever I see authority figures embracing Punisher iconography, because the Punisher represents a failure of the justice system. The vigilante anti-hero is fundamentally a critique of the justice system, an example of social failure. So when cops put the Punisher's skulls on their cars or members of the military wear Punisher's skull patches, they're basically siding with the enemy of the system. However, this skeleton understands its meaning. This skeleton is critiquing itself, as skeletons cannot naturally stay together, as they have no ligaments. This meme then implies that when people forget about what unites them, they cannot come together as a unified body for good." Esoteric Meme Breakdown, Episode 20. What if we signaled the advancement of ancient war vessels on the sacred shore of the Rhine together? This is a still image from a secondary camera shot of Jan Brote and Anne-Marie Sundberg as they demonstrate the sound of the lure for a 2013 episode of Howard Goodall's Story of Music, broadcast on BBC Two. The lure is a Bronze Age ancient horn and is part of a complex and fascinating lineage of brass instruments. 56 bronze lures have been recovered, with the majority found in Denmark and others in Sweden, Norway, and Germany. These instruments may have been used in war or for signaling a number of things. It is unknown exactly what was played on them, with modern artists only giving interpretations of what could have been played. The Rhine is a major river in Europe. However, I tried to figure out where this river actually is, but my guess is somewhere in the UK or Sweden, as the program is from the BBC, but the artists are Swedish. Let me know if you have an idea of where this is. I came up short, and let me know what meme you'd like me to cover next.